Today is June 26th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are brought to you each and every day by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, the Cardinals didn't quite get it done. The 7-game winning streak is not alive, not possible. But hey, a 4-game win streak is still on the table before the team ships on up to Boston this weekend for a series with the Red Sox. 4 games in the next 3 days against the Pirates here at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, the Sunday's game, yesterday's game, it was just one of those things. You did so many things right, but your starting pitcher, who had been spectacular, has an off day. Not really anybody's fault, not much you could do about it, except if the bottom of your bullpen was better or deeper, same thing, then maybe you would have got Hudson out sooner and handled it better. So I can't really blame anybody in uniform for what happened yesterday. Even really good pitchers are going to have off days. How are you most capable of handling those off days? And we saw what happened.
I didn't see live the inning where everything kind of unraveled for Hudson. So when I saw the line score first, before looking at kind of how it went batter by batter, I figured he got into trouble and somebody came in from the bullpen and things just went to hell after that. I was very surprised to see that they kept him in there and had him go and let all of those on him. I was very surprised to see that. And that's kind of a testament of what Oli Marmol thinks of the guys in his bullpen outside of Helsley, Cabrera, and Gallegos. And,
exactly right.
A few weeks ago, that would have been a spot where Pallante would have come in, and that's not a spot where Pallante belonged. So
he's starting now.
And now that's the thing, is that now he's a starter where he should be starting innings fresh. But a few weeks ago, they would have brought Pallante in there, and Pallante, given his numbers this year, would have allowed a few runs probably in that situation. That's last year, that's a case where they would have gone to TJ McFarland. They would have said, hey, we're in a mess. Go out there and get us a ground ball or two. And right now, the confidence is just not there with him.
Well, moreover, they would have taken Hudson out much earlier than that jam. He had, 3 or 4 double plays to get him out of jams. He just didn't have it, and for whatever reason, and I don't think he would have gone 4 innings. Yeah. He was really struggling, and if you had a deep, and this is nobody's fault either, fresh bullpen, the outcome could have been better. Speaking of fresh, I'm taking off the lineup nerd hat for the next few days because Oli is going to have to shuffle his lineup and keep guys fresh in 100-degree heat. It's, to me, whoever can play without cramping up, you're in the lineup, and I'm okay with it.
And when you add on to that you have a doubleheader tomorrow,
that's what I mean,
and an off day on Thursday. So the ways that you can manipulate days off and extra rest for a lot of these guys is it's very similar to that Cubs series where you do all of that work and then you have that extra day off before you face a very exciting Red Sox team this weekend. They're series
really playing good ball.
Yeah, a series that's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see how the two teams line up pitching wise and get to see some really good hitters too. Wow, Devers on that Red side. We'll talk about that on Friday, but I am excited to see Devers play on TV this weekend. Here is your starting lineup for tonight's Cardinal game, a 6:45 start time. It is Cardinals and Pirates. For the Cardinals, Zach Thompson makes his first major league start. More on that in a second. But Tommy Edman leads off at short. Nolan Gorman is at second. Paul Goldschmidt back in the lineup at first. Nolan Arenado, your DH for tonight. Tyler O'Neill in left. Brendan Donovan at third. Juan Yepez in right. Dylan Carlson in center. And Andrew Kisner is in center field. For the Pirates, Mitch Keller is on the mound. Tucupita Marcano is your left fielder. Rammer, if you have a better idea of how to pronounce his first name, I'll take it. Brian
No,
Reynolds.
I think you were really close.
Thank you.
Talked to their play-by-play guy today, Tucapito, I believe it is.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Brian
right on it.
Reynolds is in center field. Keep Brian Hayes at third. Michael Chavez is at first. Daniel Vogelbach is your DH. Diego Castillo is at short. Jack Sawinski is in right. Tyler Heineman is behind the plate, and Yu Chang is at second base. Before we talk about Zach Thompson making his first start in Major League history, just a few things lineup-wise. It's very telling that Nolan Gorman is no longer a third baseman. He was drafted as a third baseman, came up as a third baseman. The day Nolan Arenado was traded, Nolan Gorman became a second baseman. This is one of those games where, you know what? He has played a lot of third base in his life. He's not at third base tonight. He's at second base, and Donovan's at third.
I think it has to do with, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's maybe overdone today, not just by the Cardinals, but so many organizations. The Fabergé egg. Oh, they're fragile objects. They're so valuable. We can't mess with their frame of mind. Oh, we just moved him off third. Now, to support that, has he taken a ground ball at third since last fall? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe since last spring before last. So, but why wouldn't, if you're trying to get in the big leagues, why wouldn't every player do it like Donovan does? I got a glove for every position. And Jose, meaning Jose Oquendo, Cheo, hit me grounders at third, second, and first today. Hit me fly balls at left and right tomorrow. Why every young player doesn't do that, I don't get it.
But I think that goes back to let's look at the upbringing of Nolan Gorman and Brendan Donovan in their journey to the big leagues. Every player has a different journey to make it to Major League Baseball, and guys like Brendan Donovan, in some cases, have to show all of their versatility. But he has to show that he can play everywhere and he can be valuable wherever the team wants him. Where Nolan Gorman, a first-round pick, just hits the cover off the ball, and they say, okay, go find a place to play. You're the third baseman. Okay, you can hit. Nope, now we need you at second. Hey, that's, 1,000 ground balls a day. We're going to hit you to second, and we're not looking back.
I don't mind them trying him at second base, but the Fabergé egg mentality, I think, is overdone.
Yeah, and that's true. And also, too, I wonder if the Cardinals would have known 100% that the DH was coming when it was coming. I wonder if those moves would have been made back then.
Good question. Yeah. They go with, we don't want a young guy just to DH. Well, I get that too, but they haven't, I won't say they created a problem, but it's almost like they didn't expect Edman to take the next step. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if DeYoung would have been matching maybe his best year right this season? Would they left Gorman hitting bombs, 3 bombs a week? And that would have been a good problem to have. Yeah. But I think it tells me that they weren't. And by the way, this goes back a couple of decades with the Cardinals. The Cardinals have always thought, they haven't said it, but their actions tell it, second basemen are a dime a dozen to them. Just go back and look at their history.
They have, and maybe now that kind of changes with
if Gorman can handle it.
We've kind of talked about it in the offseason of saying, you know what, Gorman, hey, go take balls in left field and right field, and maybe you do DH, and maybe you spell Goldschmidt at first. I think the possibilities are endless with what you can do with him in the future. It was a late report day for the Cardinals today, as they got a little bit of time off. As we mentioned, there is the heat factor. There's the doubleheader tomorrow. So Ali Marmol did not meet with the media until a little bit later today than usual. And one thing that was talked about yesterday and this weekend was that the Ali Marmol has been a little disappointed, as I think a lot of people are, with the production out of the catching position, out of the offense with the catchers, out of Yadier Molina and Andrew Kisner. And earlier today, Ali Marmol spoke about Andrew Kisner's offense and said that it definitely has to definitely has to bring up more offensively. The expectation is that the league batting average for catchers, they want him to be league average. They said that I guess in the offseason, they've wanted him to focus on hitting the ball in the air more, and they think it went too far. So now they think they need to make adjustments with
but they're putting it
that.
on him, not themselves.
That's
a bunch. That's BS. If I'm him and his agent, I'm steaming right now.
It kind of, there's a lot of, when you look at the hitting approach as a whole with the Cardinals and with how the St. Louis Cardinals do it and how the Memphis Redbirds, how both organizations hit differently in their approach.
They're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to, but there's one guy that's, working with the guys in St. Louis that's not down in Memphis.
But he is the director of hitting for the whole organization.
He is.
The other thing maybe that they're asking more from Kisner is because he's always hit.
Yeah.
But how do you expect a guy to hit when he's been sitting on the bench for 4 years? That's really tough. In 4 years, he's got 380 plate appearances, something like that. That's nothing. And so a guy who's hit 300 really his entire career in the minor leagues, he's been a good hitter. I think he's been put in a really tough spot.
Yeah, Ali Marmol also, this is all from John Denton's Twitter account, by the way. He covers the Cardinals for MLB.com. He also tweeted out that Ali Marmol has admitted that the staff is taking notice of Paul DeJong's power surge down in Memphis. And he said when we put when we put together our best team, we talked about DeJong being our starting shortstop. So they have mentioned that. I don't think that's the case anymore. I don't know. We've both talked about it. I don't know what you do with him. I don't know what the plan is with that. The roster seems to be really, really full right now. I don't know what the future of Paul DeJong looks like.
I think he'll be great starting for somebody else, and we get pitching.
That's what I brought that up to Claibs too earlier today, and he kind of questioned, how do you trade a guy that's hitting so well in Memphis before you see him in the big leagues? And I said, hey, you take somebody else's problem and hope it works out for you.
Yeah, I'm not saying you trade him and get Tom Seaver straight up, but I think stay hot for a couple of reasons. One, we like Paul DeJong, great teammate, good Cardinal, good citizen. We like him. We root for him. Stay hot. And if he stays hot, he could become part of a package that could help you make the big league roster better.
Yeah, that's you look at who the top pitchers are out there right now. And by the way, you start looking at some of the records, some of the standings in baseball, and there are a lot of potential trade partners out there with how bad some of these teams are. I think all eyes are still on Frankie Montas out in Oakland.
Yes,
but you could kind of look around and see who all, what starters are out there. Who do you want from some of these teams? And in some cases, maybe you give them a starting third baseman or shortstop for next year.
When do you think Tatis is coming back?
I could tell you this: it better, for my kids' sake, it better be before July 15th.
Risks are tricky.
Yeah.
What if do you think Mike Schilt knows Paul DeJong as a shortstop?
He does. He does. I'm just, hey, you know what? All I'm saying is that I am taking my kid to a game in San Diego on July 15th or 16th. I'm not sure on the date yet. And if we go there and Paul DeJong is the starting shortstop, if Paul DeJong is the shortstop and not FTJ as he calls him, then he's going to be pretty bummed. So let's not put that out there in the universe, okay? Okay,
I'll take it right back.
What are you expecting tonight out of Zach Thompson?
I have no expectations. Attack the zone, throw strikes, see what happens. He's a very highly regarded prospect, and what you got between the two young guys that are pitching tonight, you would expect there are going to be runs scored. And can he give you enough of a start to not tax your bullpen for tomorrow's doubleheader. That's all I'm asking. Can he give me 5 and keep me in the ball game? Anything beyond that is gold.
Yeah, and he will be sent down to Memphis tomorrow, and another pitcher will likely be called up. Matthew Libator set to start game 1 tomorrow of the doubleheader. So you're getting 2 of your top best lefties down in Memphis, starting today, tonight, and tomorrow afternoon. We will be back tomorrow later in the afternoon. We're going to do our show tomorrow between both games of the doubleheader. So a recap and a preview of the nightcap all in one tomorrow afternoon for you right here on Daily Cards Live. And hey, we are presented each and every day by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and also Rammer, your friends at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri. Give them a call for the best service around, 314-212-1500. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you tomorrow right here on Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, new inventory is arriving daily, both new and pre-owned. Our buying team adds a higher level of personalized service that others can't match. We sell over 100 pre-owned vehicles monthly, and many of these are matched by our buying teams in Missouri and Illinois. As new Acura production ramps up, be one of the lucky ones to try the newest Type S models now available. Performance has never been so stylish and comfortable. St. Louis Acura remains committed to becoming better than ever for you.